Hi guys, good afternoon. My name is Gabby Dizon, co-founder of Alto. And now we have a panel around business models around non-fungible tokens. So we've got a really exciting panel here of people who are doing different things around NFTs. So yeah, for each of the panelists, please introduce yourself and just tell us what you're doing around non-fungible tokens. Seb?
So, hi everyone, my name is Sebastien Borget. I'm CEO and co-founder of Pixowl. We are the maker of the Sandbox, which is a decentralized gaming platform where creators can make voxel assets and gaming experience and monetize them on the blockchain. My background, so I'm a third-time entrepreneur. I started about 12 years ago with one of the very first true peer-to-peer decentralized technology, which is BitTorrent. And then in 2011, I jumped into mobile games as the Apple Store, the Apple device and Android device came and allowed anyone to make games again in their garage. And here I am today with you and working on evangelizing about NFTs and the next generation of gaming.
Awesome. My name is Donnie Dinch. I run a company called Bitski, and we are building a wallet for mainstream adoption. We provide a hardware-secured wallet that developers can drop into their whatever game or product they're building and easily allow their users to sign up for a wallet and interact with the blockchain. I guess my background, I don't know, you did a background thing. So my background, this is my second time starting a company. A lot of focus on consumer experience, mobile products, and that's pretty much how we've kind of framed a lot of the decisions we make at Bitski. It's, how do we power the first million DAU product using a blockchain?
All right. Hi, I'm Chris Chapman from Neon District. I'm the executive producer over there. We're making a turn-based strategy RPG in a cyberpunk universe. So it's obviously a game I love. But my background is from more traditional games. So I started doing this 25 years ago, somewhere in there, like forever ago. Most recently, I was at Disney, where I was working on things like Club Penguin, Disney Infinity, wherever John is, Skylander competitor there. And it's like I stumbled into blockchain and decided, oh my God, NFTs. NFTs are awesome, right? So, because everybody loves Bitcoin. But if you look at the real world, right? Like money is just this little sliver. Like everything else in the world is non-fungible, like that chair, like Donnie, right? Like non-fungible tokens.
We hope Donnie is non-fungible, right?
Right.
So far, as far as I know.
Non-fungible tokens are where it's at, right? It is the future of the blockchain.
Nice. So, okay, I'd like to start with Seb and Pixowl. So, you've had the Sandbox around 7 years now on mobile, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so mobiles, is that a free-to-play business model?
Yes, we started very early on with free-to-play.
Okay, so free-to-play business model, your players download the game for free, they may pay for things in it, and then they keep 70% of the revenue. How does that change when you're bringing Sandbox to blockchain?
I think the main challenge, as Archer mentioned before, is how do we introduce to our existing community the benefits that non-fungible tokens are offering. There's two main benefits I would like to mention. The one is the true ownership, the fact that they really own the contents and not a company like us or Microsoft in case of Minecraft, etc. And the second benefit is that they can freely trade on any marketplace and monetize their content. In my opinion, the one that really matters to everyone is not the ownership, it's about making money with your content. What's really amazing with the first Sandbox, and they've spent hours and hours making over 70 million creations, and they did all of that for free. They never got 1 cent of it. Now that we are introducing this new 3D version where they can create an NFT with our NFT builder and start selling it on our marketplace, which will be launched soon, I'm really interested to see how it will jumpstart. I'm really bullish on this.
Have you been communicating to the current community that you're bringing this to the blockchain and they can earn money with it? And what's been the response to that?
So we're proceeding in stage. We think that every technology disruption should not happen like instantly, but we should evangelize, train people to it. And our first approach to this has been launching a creator fund where we are supporting actually 3D artists to make content, high quality voxel. So voxel are like 3D pixel digital Legos like models using our editor, our NFT builder. We pay them to do that, so it's a grant, and they still keep the ownership, so when they were going to sell it on our marketplace, they will receive 100% of the proceeds on every single transaction that will happen. Wow. Yes, wow, right? And it's been amazing. We launched it end of December last year, and we already are working with about 100 artists. They made over 1,000 models, really great looking ones, some of them already animated. And so this will seed the content on the marketplace that later on will be used for creating gaming experience, since we're a game maker.
Okay, so talking about business models, how does Pixowl, the company, make money from this kind of a setup?
So, as I mentioned, we are a user-generated content platform. So the content is made by players and owned by players, which means they will essentially keep 100% of the revenue of whatever they create and sell on the marketplace. On our marketplace, we'll charge a transaction fee on every transaction, which should be between 3 to 5%.
Okay.
And a smaller part of the revenue will come from selling other NFTs such as land or avatar, since we're also like a virtual world with, like I like to call, we are building one of the multiple metaverse.
Yeah.
And that should bring additional revenue. But the main revenue will be from UGC NFT sales.
Right. So what we're seeing from a lot, or if not most of these games, is that they're moving to a marketplace model where people are charging anywhere from 3 to 5% of fees, right? So how does this change how a game developer runs their company when they're used to a free-to-play model where they're essentially getting 70% of revenue to something where they're getting 5% of transactions? Like, how does it change game design? How does it change your loops, your monetization? What are your thoughts on that?
All right, I got this one. It's cool. So if you think about it, your traditional free-to-play models, you're selling a lot of consumables up front, right? You've got your users on this treadmill, and you're just like sell, and they buy the stuff, and then there's not a lot of longevity after that, right? If you have your assets also kind of off onto the public blockchain, and you're taking your 3% cut over there, that's where you can get your longevity, right? So all of a sudden the 5% of your player base that's your whales, that's spend. Well, the curve smooths out, and you can start monetizing all of the other guys, because they're like, oh, this is a thing, and I love this game, and I play it all the time, and this doesn't cost very much. I'm going to grab this, and then you get like beep, you get your little kickback out of it.
Right. So, Donnie?
Yeah, I think that, I think the models are going to evolve considerably. Anytime I get too confused or I'm trying to understand what does this true ownership thing mean, I always try to flip back to an analog perspective. And I think you'll see gaming to kind of implement to some degree like a tax model, where you're in our world, you get to do a lot of things, and some of the things you have to do require a tax just because we provide the infrastructure for that to happen, or we make sure the servers are running, whatever it may be. And I think that you can kind of extrapolate, like one interesting thing about being a part of a universe like that, metaverse, whatever you want to call it, is that you have opportunity. Where in the existing game model, your opportunity is pretty narrow. Either I beat the game, or maybe, I think streaming is a good example of people taking advantage of opportunity of being good at games. But I think that when you can start to build value in the effort that you put into games, you're not going to be so upset if you're paying a tax on that. Right. And so whether it's just NFTs, I think transactions in general, I think every microtransaction that happens in these worlds will eventually be a monetizable event, so long as the players feel the opportunity growing as they contribute to this world. And that's just one example.
I'd like to that. There's two additional important things. One is coming from mobile and free-to-play, we are used to having stores such as the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, that usually did some job at promoting and featuring some developers and getting them distribution. The same with the Steam Store, the Epic Store, or the web. Here, with NFTs, for me, are content that carries their own distribution. And the fact that they can be translated, exchanged many times creates important opportunities, specifically since we are in business model where we charge fee on every one of those transactions. And also the fact that we have a secondary marketplace like Wax, like OpenSea, that are also now taking the role of those stores by promoting the NFTs, driving traffic to this game. They really help on the distribution and the user acquisition for us.
Okay. So Donnie, where does the wallet come in all of this?
Well, everyone needs one. I think the wallets are effectively the email address of blockchain. It's going to be a commodity, and I think that there's going to be a lot of different flavors of wallets that you can get. Email, taking that metaphor a little further, you could set up your own email server in your house or at your company, or you could use Gmail. We kind of look at ourselves a little bit like a Gmail opportunity in that regard, where it's maybe not for everyone, but we think it's for most people. And I think that, if you take a step back and look at, this is the first time I feel like in consumer technology in the past 30 years that we've come from a perspective where we expect the user to really understand the stack that's powering these opportunities. And so I spoke about this like a couple of weeks ago, but for us to stay very outcome oriented, some of these things have to be simplified and abstracted, and we think wallets are one of those. Obviously, you still need to be incredibly secure. So the whole wallet came to us as a kind of a problem that we had. My team built a few different products together, and having shipped software before, and if anyone has ever shipped an app or anything, you know how difficult it is to get somebody to use your thing, even if they don't have to really sign up. All the viral loops, all the effort that you put on onboarding and the distribution methods, and so the existing wallet scenario was kind of a showstopper for any sort of mainstream adoption. So we kind of scratched our own itch in that regard, and that's kind of where we got with Bitski. So hopefully, where we had to stop building the product that we were excited about and we started building Bitski, hopefully we can unlock the rest of the developer creativity that have these ideas and are maybe apprehensive about building something because of the existing infrastructure constraints.
Nice, thank you. Okay, Chris, let's talk Neon District. So it seems like you're building a very high-end graphical experience. So where does the blockchain come into play on that?
Yeah, so kind of riffing on the wallet and the difficulty and all of that stuff. Sort of the path we're taking is we're leaning into the AAA piece of it, right? So we're trying to solve the problem with creating a wallet and onboarding users, and that, the ramp right now is so bad. But what we did is we took it into a side chain, and we're just basically doing it all ourselves. The user never even sees any blockchain anywhere. We've got a cute little custodial wallet for them tucked to the side, and they don't need to know about it right now. And they come in, and so we're leaning into this onboard. Oh, hey. And so we're leaning into this onboarding process, and so much so that we're going overboard with the cinematics. We're making it super highly cinematic, and we've got amazing artists and super beautiful as you go in, and even the gameplay, like the tutorial is gorgeous. Like it's this thing that we're treating it like it's a real AAA game, and then eventually the players will graduate to understanding what blockchain enables for them, right? Like, oh, I can actually own my digital asset. Oh, I can push it through the gateway out onto mainnet. Ooh, I've got a thing. And all of a sudden it's over hanging out with Devin and Alex over there at OpenSea. Look, oh, they can buy, yeah. Hi guys. They can buy my sweet helmet in Neon District, right? And so all of a sudden that all unlocks, and we've got that entire secondary market, and then all of a sudden, we've got Axie Infinity, which, I've got my rifle and my Axie's got it all of a sudden, wherever Jeff is. I'm super excited for all of that. But the starter piece is getting that on board, getting all those mainstream users in there, getting them in the funnel. Like we need to throw them in the top of the funnel.
So what separates a really cool cyberpunk strategy game to a really cool cyberpunk strategy game that has blockchain enabled in it?
Oh, so this probably falls under the don't screw up your game category, right? Like, so in a traditional RPG, it's a treadmill, right? So the design space for your game is very narrow but long, right? Or tall, I guess, tall. And so, like a +1 sword, and you've got a +10 sword, and you've got like the Uber sword. Like it just gets better and better and better. It's this big ladder. If you take that design and you go into the public blockchain marketplace with it, you're gonna break your game, because all of a sudden all the rich people own all the Uber swords and game over. Right. Like nobody else can have.
That's the Diablo 3 auction house problem.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's how they screwed it up. Like it is not compatible. So what you have to do is you have to design your RPG to be shallow but very wide, right? Like the reason it works with traditional trading card games, right? Like, so, Gods Unchained, all those guys, is because that design space is shallow and wide. And so, like, this card's not better than that card. It's just better in certain situations. And so the way you go from, like, Cyberpunk 2077 or whatever, like, I mean, they're going to design their thing, but we have to design ours differently because we've got a blockchain underneath.
If I can add to that, I think the main difference in a decentralized blockchain game in the economy is that it's not set, like versus free-to-play, is not set by one game designer and central authorities that define that, this item is going to have this value, and this scarcity just artificially, even if it doesn't have any sort of utility in the game. Here it's really defined by the market. And to me, it's a great benefit that it's no longer like a dictatorship of an economy, but it's an open market, and not just rich people will buy, and that doesn't mean it's going to be valuable. It has to be something more than that to be valuable in the eyes of players and to see a rising value over the NFTs or the currencies that's used in the games.
Can I ask a quick question? So you said you're going to have an NFT builder, I guess, for people to build assets in Sandbox. And so that one thing that I think that is going to come along with an open economy like this is there's going to be some parts of the game, and I guess you can consider this a part of your game, that aren't necessarily pure fun, that there's a little bit of like labor, a little bit of work involved with that. Is that something that you guys have thought about a lot?
We are thinking about it a lot, actually. We're even thinking on implementing eventually some mechanism that would prevent anyone to set scarcity that's very low, so that we can guarantee only reputable creators and creators that have been upvoted a lot by the community can create scarce things. So they do not artificially inflate the value of all the content on the marketplace and kind of break or block new entrant to the marketplace to not buy because they see a lot of, I would say, shitty stuff worth a lot of money and not understanding why. So that's a topic we'll discuss often, and we're working on mechanisms like this, community voting, and having this limitation on how you can set your scarcity.
Very cool.
We talk a lot about the features of blockchain, interoperability, and all of that. But at the end of the day, do you guys agree that as a player, at the end of the day, the reason we're doing this is that people can make money playing games? Is that it?
For us, yes, that's really the main disruption over what Minecraft or Roblox are doing. Like, we want to allow creators to fully monetize their time and skills by doing great fun experience and generating a profit from it. It could be small, just $10 a month, $100 a month. We are not promising everyone will make millions, but still, to some extent, to a player, it's already great.
Yeah, and if you think about it, playing a game is you're investing your time into an asset, right? Like, I've built up this thing, and it's super cool now. I've leveled it up to level 100. It's awesome. So if you can turn that time into value on the blockchain to where, oh, hey, I can sell this thing, well, what's another word for turning time into value? A job, right? All of a sudden, like, everybody can have jobs, and we don't have to be automated out of truck driving school or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think that digital ownership is, I mean, if we're going down a little bit of the rabbit hole here, is an essential requisite for, I guess, the future of work. I think that we're going to spend more and more time in digital places, and to the extent right now that we can't get any value, people, I mean, there's all kinds of, depressing and like guilt because you spend all this time on something where you have nothing to show for it effectively, but you really enjoy it while you're doing that. And I think we will see that be monetized. And in order to do that, you need to be able to own things, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. We're almost out of time, so we have time for maybe 1 or 2 questions. Are there any questions for our panelists?
Come on over.
Why do you think gamers and gaming, especially with the tie-in with Tron and people at BitTorrent, 100 million users that are pretty aggressive and will take risks, can beat every other blockchain area to actually reach adoption and monetization for people to do the work and take the risks? What are you guys going to do as an industry to do that over others to make blockchain actually reach scale?
I'm not sure I followed.
Yeah, I think I might have missed the question.
Why is gaming the key industry to drive mass adoption?
Yeah.
If I summarize the question? Okay.
Yeah.
I think we've seen it happen before. Like video games and porn, unfortunately, have been the 2 main industries that drove adoption of any technology, from the Minitel to the internet to TV to casino gambling, etc. So it's essentially repeating a known pattern here, and gaming, thanks to the casualization of video games now, smartphone, what Nintendo did with the Wii, etc., is probably one of the largest ever consumer market. So even if we are tapping into specific niche inside that market, we're hoping they are large enough for every one of us to succeed at the scale we hope so.
Yeah, and just quickly, I think that the other big industry that obviously can take advantage of blockchain is the financial industry, and I would die on the hill that is game studios are going to move quicker than financial institutions. And so I think that this is almost like the test world to some degree. I think with games, you have the opportunity to create these sampled environments that I think will eventually apply to us in the real world.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, like the test world. So gamers are digital natives, right? They are digital asset natives. And so it's a natural transition.
All right, that's all we have. That's all the time we have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.